This is my review of the Phil Ochs album Greatest Hits. It was released in 1970 and produced by Van Dyke Parks, with two of the tracks co-produced by Andrew Wickham. So this album is not a greatest hits, it's just kind of a joke title, which really I like the concept of it. I just think it's pretty funny and pretty cool that, I mean, obviously he was kind of depressed about how his career went, but he still had, you know, a sense of humor about it enough to like make a whole album cover around it, which I think is great. So yeah, he's got the gold suit here, which is great. On the back it says like 50 Phil Ochs fans can't be wrong, which I think is a reference to something that was on an Elvis album. So yeah, this album has a lot of, it kind of continues in what he's been doing with like the production with more instruments and stuff. He kind of goes a little country rock on this album, but this album is like a little bit all over the place, kind of like Tape from California. It has one of his like just acoustic protest songs. It's kind of like a fake live one, just kind of stuck in there. It has some country rock kind of sounding tracks. It has some of the more like I don't know, like Baroque orchestrated sounding stuff that he'd been doing. So it's a little all over the place, but I kind of tend to think of it a little bit as this like country rock album because it seems like there's more of those kind of tracks. Yeah, this was an early favorite album of mine. I started listening to it online before I got the vinyl copy. I got this probably like 3 years ago on eBay. This album has some of the Byrds playing on it. It's got Clarence White and Gene Parsons on a few tracks. Not sure which ones that they're on, but yeah. So that's pretty cool because I'm a huge Byrds fan, huge fan of that era of the Byrds, as well as the original. So it's cool to have those guys on here. And yeah, I think other than that, like I'm not sure who else is on here. I think Bob Raifkin's on here again, playing guitar on some tracks. And the album opens with One Way Ticket Home, which is like one of my favorite songs on the album. I think it's a great opening track, really catchy song. I really like the lyrics, really like Phil's performance and the production of it. Just really everything about the song is great. This album gets off to a really strong start with that one. The second track, Jim Dean of Indiana. This is probably the track on the album that I'm like the most conflicted about, because on the one hand, like it's built on this really cool piano part, this just kind of really haunting piano melody that kind of goes throughout the whole song. I do think like the melody of it and just the music and stuff is really nice, and I really like that part of it. It's a pretty long song. The thing about it that I'm not the craziest about it mainly just the lyrics, and it's not that the lyrics are bad or anything. It's just I've said this before in one of my Eagles videos, I don't really get the whole James Dean thing. I've never seen any of his movies. I get that he was like huge with you know, those people that grew up in that time that watched his movies and stuff, but it's just something that I've never really got so much because I've never seen any of his films really, and I'm not the biggest like movie person anymore. I kind of find that like the older I get, the less I care about movies. Even though I do tend to like older movies better than the newer ones. I just like I'll watch a movie like once and be like, yeah, I never need to see it again, for most of them. But yeah, so I don't get the whole James Dean thing. And that's not really like a reason for me to dislike this song, I guess, but it's just one that I'm less into. It's not one that like I have anything where I hate about it. Like I like the song, it's just like I don't always want to hear it, so it's like one that I skip if I'm like doing a casual listen to this album. But I don't think it's a bad song or anything. I really like the music, it's just I'm not really that into it. So the third track, My Kingdom for a Car, this is another major highlight for me. To me, this one sounds like it might have the guys from the Byrds on it. I think that the drumming sounds a little heavy like Gene Parsons, and I think some of the guitar sounds like stuff that Clarence would play, but I'm not sure. Could be that they're not on it. But yeah, I don't know what they actually play on here, but to me this one sounds like it might be them. I think it's a really catchy song, really like the instrumental parts. It's got this weird like unhinged kind of keyboard solo in the middle of it. Love Phil's vocal on it, the lyrics, just a great song, really catchy. it's probably like tied for my favorite on here, but there's like probably 3 songs on here that I can consider my favorite. The fourth track, Boy in Ohio, this one is kind of a slower, like ballad type song. I like this one a lot though. Growing up in Ohio and stuff, I kind of identify with it a little bit lyrically. So this one for me is a highlight. Might not be for people who aren't from Ohio. But yeah, it's a catchy song. I think Phil's vocal's great. Kind of just a slow like country ballad type of song, but I like it a lot. The fifth track, Gas Station Woman. This one, another one I like. He kind of really goes country on this one. I like the lyrics a lot. I think it's a catchy song. It's got some cool pedal steel in it. So this is another highlight for me. And that ends side 1. Side 2 starts with Chords of Fame. This one, another major highlight, although I do think I kind of like the live version from Gunfight at Carnegie Hall better. I like the production on this one, but I think that the only thing I would say about this is like there's these backing vocals on the chorus that I think I would just like turn down just a little bit if I had been like the one mixing it or whatever. But yeah, it's a great song, catchy. I think this is one of his kind of more well-known songs. He has a great lyric to it. Yeah, just a major highlight. The 7th track, 10 Cents a Coup. This one is weird because I do really like the song, but it's sort of out of place. It's like he does this kind of fake live song. He has one of his kind of rants before it where he's talking, and there's this really like obvious edit in the rant, which is pretty funny. But it's a good rant. You change some of the names around and things like that, and it'd still be relevant today. Same for the song. Change some of the names, it'd still be relevant. But yeah, it's a good little like acoustic protest song. I enjoy it quite a bit. The 8th track, Bach, Beethoven, Mozart and Me, kind of goes back to his production like that he has been doing on some of the like Pleasures of the Harbor and stuff like that. The kind of more old-timey sounding thing. It's got some cool harpsichord on it. I do like this song. I think it's a little bit long. It's tied, I think, for the longest song on this album. I think it's like exactly the same length as Jim Dean of Indiana. Which I like this one more. I think it's got more interesting lyrics. But it is a little long. I do like it though. It's catchy. Just not my favorite thing on here. The 9th track, Basket in the Pool. This one, another major highlight for me. He goes kind of more into like a rock and roll style song. Lyrics about, I guess there's this time he was at a party and he won a gift basket and he was pretty drunk, and so he like went on a rant about the war or something and like threw the basket in the pool. I don't know the whole story, but here he writes a song about it, and just like the lyrics of it I think are great, and yeah, it's a really cool track. Like he gives a great vocal on it, and yeah, that's a major highlight. And then the 10th and final track, No More Songs. This is another major highlight for me. I think it's a great closer in the album. It goes back to the strange, like old-timey sounding music. This one almost sounds like, I don't know, kind of like medieval to me. It's just kind of a weird sounding track, but it's great. It's really catchy. His vocal performance is really good. I like the lyrics a lot. It's a really sad song being called No More Songs. In that it ends like his studio albums. He never released another studio album, so it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a fitting title, but it's really sad. So Phil Ochs' Greatest Hits, like I was saying, for a long time it was my favorite. I think it's been kind of replaced, but still a great album. I think it's just not, I don't know, it's not the most like cohesive album he did. It's kind of a little bit all over the place stylistically. But I do enjoy that. Like, to me, that kind of works in its favor. It probably would work against it for most people, but I like the kind of styles being all over the place. I think this album has some of his best songs on it, and I think it has a cool production. I think he sounds really good throughout the whole album. It's really sad that this is his last studio album, because I think he was just getting better and better. So yeah, this one, this is an album that I highly recommend, but if if you can't like stand any country sound at all, this is probably not his album that you want to check out. I mean, this, to people who do kind of like country and country rock and stuff like that, I would recommend this is the album of his that you start with if you want to listen to one of his albums. But if you can't stand anything like that, then you want to start somewhere else and kind of avoid this one probably. But yeah, just a really great album that I think is really underrated, and I highly recommend this one.